If you entered Victory Court in Surulere, you would immediately feel two things: heat and tension. The first from the blazing Lego sun, the second from the woman who ran the compound like a military barracks, Madame Gloria. People called her Madame G behind her back, but never to her face. The woman was a walking thunderstorm, big, bold, and full of drama. And that night, the night everything went wrong, she did something no one in the compound would ever forget. She locked all the gates, stood in the middle of the courtyard with a long pestle in one hand and her phone in the other, and shouted, "Nobody dey go anywhere today. Until una respect me and pay my money, all of una go sleep here like prisoners." Children started crying. Adults panicked. And someone even tried to climb the fence before Madame G aimed the pestle at him like a sniper rifle. But let's not rush. Let me take you back to where it all started. Madame Gloria was in her mid-40s, but looked like a woman who had seen too much of Lagos life. She wore big Ankara gowns that swished when she walked, always paired with gold bangles that clanged like warning bells. Her voice could wake the dead, and her laugh could scatter a prayer meeting. She had inherited Victory Court from her late husband and swore she would never let tenants cheat her out of a single naira. "Now me be landlord, now me be judge, now me be police," she would boast, standing on her balcony with one hand on her hip. "Anybody when no fit pay rent should pack comot. Lagos no be for broke people." The tenants hated her, but feared her more. If you delayed rent by 1 week, she would switch off your water supply. If you argued, she would send area boys to remove your front door. One time, she even seized a tenant's generator and used it to power her own freezer. But Madame Gloria's latest stunt was her most outrageous. On a Saturday morning, she called everyone into the compound center and announced a brand new security and maintenance levy, 30,000 naira per tenant. "Starting this month, everybody must pay this levy for CCTV cameras, solar lights, and new security gates. If you no pay, no problem. I go padlock your door myself." The compound erupted immediately. Mama Ifeoma, the plantain seller, shouted, "Madam G, we never see the last money where we pay for gutter cleaning. Now you won't collect again." Young and fearless Kemi from Flat 5 crossed her arms and said, "Auntie, you sure say na CCTV you go buy with this money, or you won't go do weekend getaway for Dubai again?" The tenants roared with laughter. Madame Gloria's eyes narrowed. "You dey mad. You dey talk to me like that for my own compound. No worry, you go hear am today." And that was when the war officially started. By evening, everyone had seen the viral video Kemi secretly recorded. Madame G threatening to padlock doors and teach people a lesson. The video spread like wildfire across Lagos TikTok, with people calling her the landlady from hell. Madame G was furious. She stormed out of her flat, gathered every spare padlock she could find, and started locking the compound gates. "Let me see how when I go run go gossip now," she screamed, veins bulging on her neck. But that night, the night everything went wrong, she did something no one in the compound would ever forget. She knew tenant, a calm, quiet man named Tunde, who had moved in only 2 weeks ago, stepped out of his flat for the first time since the drama began. He didn't shout, didn't panic. He just looked Madame G straight in the eye and said, "Madame, you did play with fire. This your show where you did do go soon turn against you." For the first time in a long time, Madame Gloria felt something she hadn't felt before: fear. The compound was silent for a moment after Tunde spoke, but then Madame Gloria threw back her head and laughed, a loud, mocking laugh that echoed off the walls. "You," she scoffed, pointing at him, "now you won't stop me? You don't even reach. I go show you Pepper tonight." And with that, she padlocked the last gate and pocketed the keys. Children started crying again, and Mama Ifioma began pacing. "This woman go kill person one day," she muttered under her breath. Madam G, you can't just lock us inside like goats, shouted Mr. Adebayo, the retired teacher from Flant 2. Go report me to police, she shot back. When police come, them go first ask you not for receipts, not dare Wahala go start. That night became something out of a Nollywood movie. People banged on their windows. Some tenants tried calling the police, but Madam G stood by the gate like a watchman, daring anyone to try to open it. Around 10 p.m., she pulled out a plastic chair, sat in the middle of the compound, and started drinking malt as if she were the Queen of England. Nobody they sleep tonight until you not agree to pay my levy, she declared. Mama Ifeoma tried to sneak out through the back fence, but Madam G caught her red-handed. Where you they go? She shouted, dragging the woman back into the compound like a stubborn goat. I won't go buy Panadol for my peeking. Lie, Madam G snapped. You won't go call police. No worry, if you peeking sick, make them drink Gary. By morning, all of you now go beg me with respect. The tenants began to panic. Even the young men who used to form Compound Boys Association kept quiet. Nobody wanted trouble with the landlady. But Tunde didn't move. He just leaned against his door frame, calm like a man who had seen worse things in life. By midnight, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Suddenly, there was a loud bang at the gate. Everyone froze. Open this gate, a voice shouted from outside. Madam G stood up sharply. Who be that? It's me, Inspector Kareem. We get reports say you not landlord, they hold tenants hostage. The compound erupted in whispers. Someone had called the police after all, but who? Madam G smirked. Now lie, nobody they hostage here. Now my compound, now my rules. The inspector wasn't impressed. Madam, open this gate before we break them. But before Madam G could move, Tunde walked forward, unlocked his phone, and started recording everything. Madam, this video go trend by morning. You can hold human beings like prisoners. You go explain tired for court. Madam G's face turned pale for a moment, but she quickly regained her composure. Go ahead, record. It's not gonna change anything. She refused to open the gate. And that was when things escalated. The police broke the padlock. Tenants scattered like chickens as the gate swung open. The officers marched into the compound demanding explanations. Madam G argued, shouted, and even tried to bribe one of them with 5,000 naira, but everything was captured on Tunde's phone. Before they left, Inspector Kareem warned her, Madam, if we hear this kind of report again, we go carry you go station. When the police finally left, everyone breathed a sigh of relief, but the damage was done. That night, Tunde uploaded the entire video to Instagram with the caption, Landlady from Hell holds tenants hostage in Surulere. Watch what happened next. By morning, it had 50,000 views and was already trending in Lagos gossip blogs. Madam G was furious. This boy don't know who I be, she screamed, pacing her living room. I go finish him before next weekend. But what she didn't know was that Tunde wasn't just a tenant. He was something much more dangerous.
The next few days were a nightmare for Madame Gloria. Everywhere she went, people whispered and laughed behind her back. Even the Okada riders outside the compound started calling her Madame Prison Warder. She decided to fight back the only way she knew how, with more intimidation. She served every tenant a quit notice, threatening to throw everyone out by month's end. But just when she thought she was back in control, a letter arrived at her doorstep. An official Lagos State Housing Tribunal summons. Madam G's hands trembled as she read it. The charges were brutal: unlawful detention, harassment, illegal levy collection, and property code violations. This not Tunde work, she hissed, tearing the letter in half. That evening, the entire compound gathered like it was Christmas Day. Tunde stepped forward calmly, holding a brown file. Madame, I no tell you who I be since, he said, his voice calm but firm. I be senior housing enforcement officer. I done dey monitor you since I move in. All your illegal levies, all your harassment, evidence they here. The compound went silent. Madam G's mouth hung open. You mean say? Yes, Tunde cut her off. By next week, government go take this property from you, and you go refund all money you collect from tenants. Mama Ifeoma screamed and started dancing. Jehovah done catch 'em. We go chop free rent this year. Even the children were clapping and shouting, Madam Prison Warder done enter trouble. 1 week later, Victory Court became a carnival ground. Madam Gloria was dragged to the housing tribunal, where every tenant testified against her. Mama Ifeoma brought fake receipts, Mr. Adebayo narrated how she disconnected his water for 2 weeks, and Cami played all the recordings she had secretly saved. The judge didn't waste time. He ordered Madame Gloria to refund all illegal levies, pay 4 million naira in damages, and surrender ownership of half of the compound until the structures were regularized. When she heard the judgment, Madame Gloria almost fainted. But the final blow came 2 months later, when a big shiny signboard appeared at the gate. Tunde Court, formerly Victory Court. Yes, the new owner of half the property was none other than Tunde himself. The tenants threw a massive party that night. Mama Ifeoma fried dodo, Kemi brought drinks, and Mr. Adebayo even played Fuji music from his small speaker. Meanwhile, Madame Gloria sat outside with her head in her hands, watching the celebration like a ghost. "Madame," he said as he walked past her, "you held us hostage that night. Now Lagos State hold you hostage. Next time, respect people." The compound roared with laughter, and that was how the landlady from hell became the tenant from shame.
highlifeng.com